Well, hello everybody. It's Dr. Lana here. Welcome to Age, Care, and Thrive with Dr. Lana. Almost forgot my own name. And I'm so excited again to welcome a guest and my dear friend, Natasha. Now, we're speaking again about caregiving, and Natasha's going to give us her own unique perspective. But remember, first and foremost, this channel is about you, the caregiver, about all of our experiences, whether it be with a parent, with a spouse. Caregiving just bring a lot of challenges to it. And there's so much that caregivers are going through. And sometimes you just feel like you need to take the super cape off, the superhero cape off, and just be yourself and take care of yourself and put your oxygen mask on first so that you can then take care of everybody else. And that's what this channel is intending to do. And so bringing perspectives from everyone, all those who've had different experiences, all the experiences that you would have shared with me. And I'm so honored to be able to share back with you some of the experiences that I may have had and my guests may have had. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my dear friend Natasha, and she's going to talk a bit more about her experience in caregiving. And so just invite you to sit back and have a listen. And remember to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell for further updates. And also leave any questions or comments about your own caregiving journey along the way. So, hi, Natasha. So good.
Hi, Dr. Lana. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, thanks. It's windy, and that tells me it's April because in Barbados, that's kite time, flying, whatever weather. But it's absolutely awesome. What about you?
It's wonderful here in New York. It's perfect spring day, I would say.
Well,
It's
yeah.
crisp air, It's not warm, but it's not cold. It's just perfect.
Oh, that sounds really nice. Okay, so well, we met, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But I wanted to just let our guests know, our group and community know about you, and just a little bit, and then I'll let you take the floor. So,
Ah.
and I love your background as well. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. I love yours with the tree of life.
Oh, yes, that is
'Cause
exactly.
that's what you give as a
That is,
caregiver and a doctor. So, yes,
it
it's
is.
very impactful on the symbol.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So Natasha was born in Trinidad, and she is extremely, and I can vouch for that, family oriented. It's just, everything about family. She also works in healthcare for the last 2 decades in the non-medical center. But I can tell you from experience and from just talking with Natasha, she has not just the voice, but the heart of a healer. And if there's anyone coming to her, I know me, we've had our conversations, and Natasha has that ability and that gift to just bring peace to a situation and to bring calm and rest. And I know that that comes from her great exposure and belief, as she says, looking after her older relatives, and especially her grandmother, she said, in 2011, not long ago, and the experience with her grandmother. So what happened was, if you don't mind me telling Natasha, you can just relate a little bit about that story. You said Gran had organ failure.
Yes. I think prior to 2011, I think 10 years before 2011, she was diagnosed with diabetes. She found out the hard way. She was cooking with the outdoor ring stove and bumped her shin, and it turned really bad within a few days. Gangrene started to form, and that's how she came up here 2 days after the incident. And she had diabetes, we found out, and we rushed her to the hospital. By then, it had infected her entire leg. It was her right leg. And the doctors did a phenomenal job. At first, they wanted to amputate her leg, and we thought if that happened, she would die. So she prayed, we prayed, love, care, and her faith too, especially her faith, that her God will heal her. So within, I think, 3 months, it was healed wonderfully. They had to cut 3 parts of her calf to try to save the leg. There was this wonderful lady in healthcare that begged the doctor, who knew him for years. She goes, please, I'm begging you. This lady's like a mom to me. Would you mind trying something before the amputation? She would just die if you did that. Her family will care for her. And he did. He took a chance and it healed well. So fast forward to 2011, they started giving her different kinds of medications for the diabetes, then blood pressure, then CHF, then allergies from
That's
medications.
chronic heart failure for those of this information. Yeah.
Yes. So then it went to like a whole bag of medication.
Oh yeah.
And she kept taking Benadryl and Panadol because that was her relief, but it was also causing damage long term for relief.
Wow.
Because she didn't live with us. She used to visit. And
Because
whatever
you're in New York now, so not in Trinidad anymore. So as you said, she was getting care from there.
Yeah, she used to visit back and forth every year for like 3 to 6 months. So we had her, and when in 2011 her stomach started to swell, and she was like she couldn't eat, and it was just really hard. So we took her to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Look, your grandma's very anemic." So they did blood transfusion. They did some work on her. They said they have to tap her tummy, that she had like organ failure. And we didn't find this out until December, and we had a blizzard that time, so it was hard to get her to and from the hospital. And long story short, they said that your grandmother has complete organ failure. They did the tapping like 2 or 3 times, and they said, just brace yourself because she may have a few weeks to live. She came in November, and by December, they started to tell us this by taking her to the doctor for care. So we're all attached to her. We have a huge family. That's 11 children she has, and countless grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So we have a huge family, and we always give back to the elders. They raised us that way. I started crying because it's to hear that this lady that you looked up to as God, because she took care of us in the absence of our mom for a short period because of my parents' divorce. And to think that I didn't have much time with her was devastating. So my sisters and my mom got together, and we rotate around the clock to spend time with her at the hospital. They were nice enough to let us sleep there when she was admitted. And one night, they gave her a blood transfusion, but they did it too fast, and she went into like a little coma for a few days. And I was so traumatized by that and upset. I had all the anger issues, like, how could you, she went in there laughing and joking and tell us to get home, go home, and then next day you come back, she's intubated. Yeah. So somebody.
That must have been a real toll.
Yeah. So when they gave her the IV, they released it, I guess, too fast with the blood transfusion.
Okay.
But though everybody was nice, look, healthcare, I would rather abrupt and just laid on us than polite and not careful.
Well, there's so much that goes on in family giving and family, and when our loved ones are ill, you can feel, and we feel helpless. I know there are times when I'm looking at my grandmother's so strong and she's still around, but it's like a different person. And the clients I might see, patients I might see, they're a different person, and it just really it can take a toll on you. So but I know that your grand knew obviously that she was loved and well taken care of, for sure. And your experience in family caregiving, I mean, that must have really given you a different perspective, I'm sure. Because when we spoke, you're talking about the experiences or the on this channel, what you would have seen, and the qualities or the personality development things you had
Yeah.
to absorb, you know. You were talking about 3 different things specifically. Do you want to share?
Yeah. So
Natasha and I, for if I didn't mention it before, we met on an international platform of, you know, persons who are just talking in a conference, a mastermind forum, and we just all joined together in this wonderful group that we are part of that is just like family as well. So
yeah.
I just had to slot that in because it's just like how you just seem to find the right people and be led to the right people. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you're
so God is good, right? So she woke up from that and she came home, and around the clock again,
yeah.
Me, my mom, my sister, every single time somebody would be sitting up in a chair by her bed, watching her. If she flinched, if she moved, if she wanted water, we would get her water. When it was time for medication, we were right there on time. So what I would share with the audience is that you're blessed if you have one sister, one brother, one niece, one granddaughter, somebody that can support you caring for a loved one. It really does make a difference.
Yes.
And we were blessed to have a loving family. Like we're huge, we're very loving, very attentive, very caring. And no matter what, look, no family's perfect, but we always come together for our elders.
That is true. That is true.
And so the last experience I had with her before she passed, before she went back to Trinidad in February, was on my birthday. It was the last day I saw her in 2011. And she slipped back into AMS. We had to rush her to the hospital. She went to my the facility that I work at, and she was there for 5 days. She woke up on the 5th day and they released her to go home. So when she got up, I said, Mom, I sat on the chair and I did not move. So when she woke up, I said, Mama, what happened? She goes, you tell me what happened. And I said, your blood pressure dropped so low and then you went into AMS. Where did it drop and go? She's always humorous, even, and she's still a little, but she's like trying to make me laugh instead of getting upset.
And AMS is
altered mental status, right?
Okay.
Altered mental
Yeah, so
status.
she was confused, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And she had the lactulose, so she was, you know, on herself going to the bathroom. And I walked behind her with my bare hands and a cloth, and I just was wiping her as she was walking and washed her. So after she was done, she blessed me. She says, so we sat on by the window, it was like really nice, and she said, I see you and me. I said, what do you mean, Mama? When I was young, I looked after my parents. I looked after elderly people in the village. I looked after people. I loved elderly people. She said, you didn't even scorn me. I said, why would I? I said, you never scorned me when I was little. None of my siblings. And you gave so much love. Like, how could we not? I said, Nanny, this is my privilege to love and care for you the way you did for us. So this is my why. This is my why. We never believe in nursing homes. We never believe in facilities or leaving our loved one for anyone to care for them.
I think they're great facilities, but I know what you mean. There's nothing like home if you absolutely have to, but there is that power in just being with family. So
there's
no one should feel guilty if they have no choice, but you know, if you can, it's great.
Yeah. You know, Lana, if I were to tell you that it is not easy, especially when you are given limited time with a loved one, it is the hardest blow to your heart. Like, you will be shattered knowing that you have limited time with someone you love dearly, and especially who gave so much to you. So the downside for my experience was gathering the strength to always go along with her jokes and, you know, just laugh and be with her and keep her spirits up. And she used to do it for us because she knew how hard it was for us. And she used to say, when I die, you're going to say, remember my mama used to say this? Remember my mama used to say that? You remember she said that? So, like, she used to always just, she was a riot. She, even in her, like, carrying dead weight, she would always have a sense of humor and pray, always blessed. Since we were children, bless you, bless you. Anybody comes to her door, bless you. So that that kind of gave us strength to know that we're getting a chance to give back. It's not like, you know, some people don't have that chance because their family member may just abruptly pass away. But when you know you can carry them for a little bit, you could nurture them. You could just be loving and surround them. You don't know the gift it is. Like, even when they're gone, Lana, you know that everything you could in your power to be present,
Yes,
you are there for them. I would share with anyone that's caring for a parent, a mom, a dad, a wife, a husband, a child. It is a blessing every day when you wake up and you can say, hey, I'm here. What do you need? How can I serve you today? And talk about all the memorable things and take notes, ask stories. What were their dreams? Did they live their dreams? This is your opportunity to tap into this amazing human being that you're caring for, to know what their life was like. Nobody ever asked anybody, how was your life?
yes.
What was it like growing up? You know? So it's your chance to do something. And I think it's important to record all the wonderful things about them while you're caring for them.
I think that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
What would you say to family caregivers in terms of that? Recording like a blog, like a day-to-day thing?
I would say the Zoom app is for free, right? You could get it for 40 minutes without having to pay. Get all your family in different areas of the world, wherever they live. If they can't make it, airfares could be expensive, traveling with the whole family. Get them on a Zoom call and get that loved one to open up, laugh, ask questions, and record it as a memoir so that one day when they're gone, their grandchildren, their children, and others would be able to get a piece of that beautiful energy that once were part of us.
Oh, that is beautiful. I really like that's really I think that's a fantastic idea, and I know there are a lot of people who do it. It's so good to hear you put that as a suggestion, because when they're gone, they're gone. While we have them there and we can just recall things, it really would be good to have like a window into their life, because they were always under care. You know, they were our carers. They took care of others. They had a life. They had their own great times, you know, and they were their own people. So seeing them in one aspect, if you're in family caregiving, is just that one part. So I loved it. You know, you can let them come back, and as much as they can remember, or come back in time to live back their time when they were young and strong, and life was good and there was hope, you know, and they knew what things were about. I think that's beautiful. And as far as having a big family is concerned, that's a great asset. And family dynamics are obviously something that we talk about, but you have that, as you said, you made that unconditional commitment to staying strong. So how did you, what brought you forward to that place? Because it's
When
a
I tell
beautiful
you,
experience.
there's something that I see sometimes fading in the future children with their parents,
Mm,
and every generation's different, right? I think when you have absolute respect for your elders, when absolutely love and adoration to them, and just acknowledge that it's because of their efforts. Some people find faults with their parents' upbringing. Some people love and appreciate it after the fact, right? But whether it's a good experience or a not so good experience, you're here because of whatever they've done. They did it to the best of their ability, right? So for me, it's that love that she gave us, the bedtime. Remember, I think I told about the story with the bedtime where my grandparents would tell us stories.
share it.
They
Yeah.
would like bicker with each other to make us laugh. It was a nightly routine.
Oh yeah, my grandmother she used to have a nightly routine too, and she'd tap me all over and sing a song, and I miss that too, and I sometimes tap myself sometimes at night to then sing a song, because it's just those little things, that
Yeah,
really bring it back and make it joyful. So it's not that kind of a weight on us.
yeah,
So, and you wouldn't be exhausted. It sounds, that's such a beautiful experience, and sharing your highs and your lows and support and all that. And what would you say also would be, you could gather as a lasting, we talked about the videos, which is beautiful, having the experiences, making them laugh, remembering good times. How would you we get a lasting connection? Because I think sometimes that connection is missing, that you have.
it's a time when you're caring for a loved one, you know for a fact that their life is limited.
Mhm.
If you remember that as a key thing, if you remember this person's life is numbered, every day you wake up, it's numbered. Every relative you didn't get along with, or family loved one you didn't have that relationship with, bring them in.
Yeah.
Bring in everyone for her to feel the joy, or him or her to feel the joy. Bring heaven on earth for your loved one. You are the only hope, whoever you are out there. You're the only hope for this person that you're caring for, right? And even though you're a bigger person, if you invite that sister that you don't talk to, or that brother that you don't talk to, or that niece or that nephew, and you say, hey, mama or daddy doesn't have a lot of time. Okay, come and spend a day in their presence, because you could give them everything to make their transition beautiful, but there's no regrets in their heart, and that all their loved ones are very much present in front of them, talking and get along, respecting each other in that moment. Learn to share it, and it makes you a bigger person. It helps you to grow, and it magnifies your blessing. Look, Lana, I don't have children.
Neither do I. So I think we understand, but we do have nieces and nephews, and
Yeah, but they're not ours, right?
oh,
But I believe in this lifetime, you give every single thing as you can as a human being, especially when there's a person with end stage of life.
yeah,
And it's not about you,
no,
it's about them.
yes,
And it's not even for a reward. It is just making another human being feel the whole package of a full life. That at the end, everything they love, it's like flowers, but instead of actual flowers, it's the essence of all the loved ones in one place.
I love that. I love that. So that's the whole thing that you had mentioned about, you give me this beautiful acronym of Ford, and you just call out those four things.
It's in real estate, right? Like
Right.
when you're meeting and networking with people, it's one thing. But as if you're a caregiver and you're new to this with this loved one or with this family member was just put on you, and you don't know, talk about, like family. Tell me about your siblings who passed, What did you do for fun, recreation, right?
Right. That's the R.
What did you do when you were younger for a living?
Right.
Okay, family. What
Mm-hmm.
was your family like? What was it like growing up with grandma, grandpa,
Yeah.
or auntie, uncle, right? Occupation. What did you do for a living in your first job? Or who was your first odd job you did?
Yeah.
Um,
And dreams too.
what
Yeah.
did you do for fun? Like you
Yeah.
played hopscotch, you played, whatever games they
Oh
played.
yeah.
How was it?
It's true.
Tell me, and what were your dreams? Like now that you're here, is there anything you wish for that you'd like? Is there any way I could make a dream of yours come true? And if you had any regret, what would it be? And if you tell me your regret, how can I help you make peace with it?
Oh.
Right? You're here to serve.
Yeah.
Caregivers serve. But when you love someone, and this is where I get my energy from, to give, and unlimited, when you're focused on someone's well-being and you know you have more time than they do, and you understand it's limited, God gives you, it shows you to be there, to be present for this person before they go to Him. So when you have that within you, you really don't get burnt out. You really don't. Because if you make it playful, and like you put on their favorite calypso, or back in the day their music, whether it was swing, whether it was reggae, you put on their song and you have them move and let them shake. Let them be like children again. If they can move their legs,
Oh yes. And
they
it's fun.
make it fun.
Absolutely. So, oh wow, this was just amazing. You see why I say she's a healer? Oh my word, Natasha is just absolutely awesome. I'm just gonna repeat that acronym for everybody. So that's FORD. That's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And even at the end of even if it's going down to end of time, they still have dreams, they still have goals, and they still want something, even if it's their favorite drink or their favorite food. We can make that come true. That as little as it is.
As little as it is. And Ford is an acronym used in real estate.
Right.
But you could use that when you're talking to a loved one, just to hit on the points.
I love it.
That they lived, that they feel, bring it back, resurrect it.
They're
right?
a full person. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Natasha, I'm just wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this story and shedding some light on what we can do. I'm gonna take away the staying committed, the honest conversations, the vulnerability, living in gratitude, and FORD. So for
Yes.
any caregiver, thank you so much. And you just love you, girl. And
well, Dr. Lana, before we wrap up, there are 3 of your videos that I would like the audience to go back to on your archive. I think it's 3 of my top favorite of yours. One is the one you did on gratitude.
Okay.
One you did, are you the parent? Because first you have to be grateful for them, right? Be to resonate with the message. And then ask yourself, are you the parent of your parents when they need care?
Yeah.
Right? Which is one of your videos, which I find to be very helpful. And I can resonate with it. And the power of pause. Like sometimes you're the only caregiver. Did you know I also inspired one of my aunts from my father's side to take care of her mom, and
That's
she
amazing.
recently lost her husband. It's like
That's beautiful.
when people
I'm gonna so as we wrap up here, I just want to say thank you. And thank you for that. And remember, put your oxygen mask on first. Do all you can because it's gonna be gone before you know it. So thank you, Natasha. We will talk some more for sure. And take care. We'll see you.
thank you.
Oh, thank you.